My focus in this book is predominantly on Jesus Christ. There are many puzzling things in these Gospels. One of the most puzzling and the one that has often been the focus of intense debate and speculation is the so called lost years of Jesus Christ. What exactly is this puzzling bit of Bible? As per the Bible, Jesus Christ lived for a total of 33 years from his birth to his final death on the cross. He spent only last 3 years of his life as a preacher, that is from the age of 30 to 33. Bible says very little about where exactly he was before taking up the role of a preacher. The Gospel of Matthew does talk briefly about the early years of Jesus. At a very early age, probably as a small kid, he had to flee to Egypt along with his parents to escape being killed by the King Herod. King Herod was afraid that Jesus, when he grew up, can be a threat to his position as the king of Judea. Bible says that Joseph, father of Jesus, was asked by the angel of Lord Jehovah to take the boy and his mother and flee to Egypt and stay there until I speak to you, for Herod is going to seek the boy to destroy him. But how long they were in Egypt is not clear. The Bible says that after the death of King Herod, Joseph moved with Jesus to Nazareth from Egypt on the instruction of the same angel. The Gospel of Luke makes a mention of an incident that happened when Jesus was 12 years old. His parents had taken him to Jerusalem for an annual feast. When parents returned to Nazareth after the feast, they found that Jesus was left behind. They started looking for him. Finally, they found him in the temple in Jerusalem, engaged in a debate with the learned men in the temple, and he was asking them questions. Jesus initially refused to leave the temple, saying that it is his father's home. But after some cajoling, his parents brought him back to Nazareth, where he continued to show interest in spiritual matters. And then the Bible is silent about whatever transpired for almost 17 years till Jesus grew to an age of 30 years. Where was Jesus for 17 years? That is the mystery, often referred to as lost years of Jesus. Bible suddenly starts talking about what happened when Jesus was about 30-year old. Gospel of Luke talks about Jesus getting baptized at the age of 30 by his own cousin John the Baptist in Jordan River. John predicts that Jesus is going to be a greater Messiah than himself. Later, Jesus spent some time in solitude, observing severe penance in the wilderness for 40 days. When Jesus returned from his solitude, he went back to Nazareth and started preaching. People of Nazareth were amazed by his knowledge and wisdom. They could not believe that a carpenter's son could have acquired so much of knowledge. They kept exclaiming, "Is not this carpenter John's son?" Jesus kept moving from place to place in and around Judea, gathering disciples, preaching, healing, and comforting poor and ailing people. This he did for next 3 years till he was finally crucified. The puzzling bit. What puzzles most is what was Jesus doing between the age 12 and 30? Where was he? Bible is totally silent about it. Based on the exclamation, "Is not this carpenter's John's son?" made by the people in his hometown Nazareth as a reaction to Jesus' extraordinary wisdom and knowledge, Christians generally assume that Jesus worked as a carpenter his father's profession, in and around Nazareth. But how did a carpenter with no formal training in religion and philosophy could show the kind of wisdom shown by Jesus? Was it also a miracle, or was there something more to it? How did he all of a sudden take on the role of a preacher and a healer after being virtually in silence for 17 years? This is the most puzzling question that has espoused many a curious and interesting theories. Many of these are highly controversial. There are people who believe that Jesus was with the Essenes in the deserts of Judea. Essenes were a sect of Jews who were ascetics and mystics. Some say that Jesus went to Greece and studied philosophy. There is also a theory that he went to Britain along with his foster father, Joseph Arimathea. Joseph was supposedly a tin merchant and took Jesus under his care when Jesus' mother, Mary, was widowed. I'm not going to get into all these diverse finds, but only investigate one prominent thread of thought that appeared interesting to me. More so because it created lot of sensation when it was first uncovered way back in 1800s. The theory was that Jesus spent his early years in India. To listen to the complete audiobook, please click the link given below in the description. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get notified on future books. Thank you.